So what you have to do, only you must be noted that very having few children, they keeps the mother in good health also. So because of getting continuously pregnant, because as I told you in last class, getting pregnancy and conceiving is might be easy, but after that, the holding that pain, that unbearable pain is very difficult. Sometimes it may leads to kind of lifelong disorder for the mothers, and as well it may leads to the death also. So we should remember that keep the size of our family small by having less number of children in our own interest and as well as in the interest of our nation also, because so if the population of the earth is population of our country is increasing, then they might be not get sufficient nutrition of food, and as well as not get well employed and no proper income, no proper kind of adequate clothing, good housing and all, it is not possible to provide by even governments also. So that is why these family planning can be done by practicing through the birth control measures. So this birth control is just a general topic. Then how to control, that is what we used to call as birth control methods. So these birth control can be done again the same thing, preventing pregnancy in females. So how to control birth? Birth control is done by pregnancy, preventing the pregnancy in the females. So this pregnancy can be prevented by adopting a method of so many methods are available. That is what we are going to study now. So we have to stop adopting a method or produce procedure by which the sperms producing during copulation between man and his wife can be prevented from meeting the ovum and fertilizing it. So once if you stop that, the sperms is not reaching to the egg, then automatically this pregnancy won't be takes place, so that it will never leads to the getting pregnancy. So to prevent this fertilization, because the ovum is available for fertilization only for a short period of time. So during that time, this frequent pregnancies is having even a very bad effect on the mother's health, because you might be see if you go to even cities and as well as towns also, a mother is having one child in her shoulders, and immediately again within that even 3 4 months baby, again next they used to get pregnancy. You might be see them. Is it yes, guys? Very small kids they used to carry, but again they used to conceive. So like that continuous pregnancy also without gap, it may leads to a continuous bad effect on mother's health also. So that is also matters. So minimum pregnancy to pregnancy, a 2 years gap should be there. Then only the woman can be strengthen her body to give what we can say that a healthy baby for next time of pregnancy. So to prevent these pregnancies in women, so many methods are developed. That is what we used to call as birth control methods. And these family planning measures or population control measures also we can say. So now that is what we will discuss now. So what do you mean by birth control, guys? This birth control is done by this birth control means control the population of the country. That is what we used to call as birth control. So this birth control is done by whom? It can be done by how, guys? By preventing or avoiding the preventing what? Preventing pregnancy in females. So that is the only method in control the population of every family or a country, everything only by preventing the pregnancy in females. So means in the sense of we have to take care the male gamete should not reaches to the female gamete. Anyhow, female gamete lifespan is very small. So by the time if you take care of that, the sperms is not reaching to the female body, then it is enough to prevent the pregnancy. But still there is no guarantee, that we don't know, might be having, there is no idea. So when it will release, when it will die and all. So that is why, and also continuously getting pregnancy is also affect very badly on mother's health. So that is why we have to be unhealthy babies also will come, and as well as mother also will affected with a bad health. So it may leads to the again the, like you can see more orphans and all used to come like that only. So many families, and for their happiness and all, they used to give the, like for their short period of enjoyment, they will get conceived and they will give the birth to the babies, and they will throw that babies on their roadsides and all. You might be see, and even drainages and the dustbins and all, we used to see the small babies every day. You used to see the news. So this is all happening because of there is no proper birth control measures. They don't have any idea how to prevent this and all. So that is why to prevent this birth control, so we're having different kind of methods. That is what we used to say, family planning measures and as well as population control measures. So everything we used to call as same thing. So that is what we are going to study. So now please all of you keep heading birth control methods. So if it comes to here, according to the class 10th, so what do you mean by birth control, guys? First of all, what do you mean by birth control? The prevention of pregnancy in women. Yes or no? Or else the preventing fertilization. That is what we used to call as, correct or not? Pregnancy. That is what we used to say birth control. So to stop this pregnancy or else the preventing fertilization, that is what we used to call as contraception. Understand what we used to call contraception, and any device or any chemical which prevent pregnancy in a woman, that is what we used to call as contraceptive. So what are the methods which we can control the birth? That is all we will study now. So first of all, to control this this pregnancy, what we used to call as, guys, contraception. So please write it, very important. Contraception. So what do you mean by contraception? Write it. Preventing fertilization. That's all. If you want, you can write that's all. Contraception means what? Preventing fertilization. So that is only what we can say, Arvind. So the preventing fertilization, only what we can say, a prevention of pregnancy.
Contraception.
Is to say. So now here in this contraception, whatever we are using, any kind of device, means any mission, or we are using any kind of drug, chemical drug, so which will prevent pregnancy, that is what we used to call as contraceptives. Even natural contraceptives are there, even chemically man-made contraceptives also there, or some devices also there, some operations, surgeries and all that. So now what is this method? So all these birth control methods we can divide into 3 categories based upon different way of like measures which we are following during the birth control. So whatever it is coming, these birth control we are making into 3 categories. One is barrier methods. What is the first one? Barrier methods. And the second one is called as chemical methods. And the third one is called as surgical methods. Surgical methods. So this is what it is. We'll see now one by one. So what is the birth control methods, guys? So birth control methods is classified into 3 categories. One is barrier methods, second one is chemical methods, and third one is surgical method. So now one by one we will study in detail. So you might be having idea of this also, because you might be see some of your families also after getting 1 or 2 children, they will go for women only operation. You might be see that operation, but during that is what we used to call as surgical method. So that is all we will study now. So first one is barrier methods. To prevent pregnancy. This is all to prevent pregnancy, remember. So what do you mean by this barrier method? Means try to understand that first of all, knowing the concept is important instead of writing. So in this barrier method of preventing pregnancy, so they will use the physical devices. That is what. So there is no need to stop the ovulation, no need to stop the releasing of sperms or testosterone, whatever it is, estrogen or progesterone. So barrier methods in the sense of, so here the name itself is there. So barrier method means a male or female during the copulation or during the mating, they will use the physical devices such as we used to call as condoms and as well as diaphragms, we can say. So this diagrams, or else we used to say usually caps, we can say. So these caps used to use by female body. So that is what we used to. So this is only we used to call as diaphragm. Okay, so this is what we used to call as physical devices. So either they can use the condoms or else caps. So these condoms used by the males during the copulation, and as well as this usually it will stop preventing entering the male gametes, that is what sperms into the female body during the copulation. And as well as female bodies, they will use males will use these condoms during the copulation, and as well as females during this, whenever they don't want to get this pregnancy, then they can use this diagrams, which will or else we used to call it as cap, which will prevent the sperms from the meeting to the ovum by acting as a barrier. So this is what we used to call it as barrier, like we can say between the sperms and as well as fertilized egg, that matured egg. So that is why it will prevent the pregnancy by using these barriers, that is physical barriers. That is what we used to say barrier methods. And the important benefit in this use of this physical barriers is, whenever suppose you need pregnancy, whenever you need to get a new baby, again it is possible to get, and as well as all you can it is possible to get the pregnancy, because by that time, even in these barrier methods, no need to control the what we can say that female reproductive cells and as well as male reproductive cells, because they used to be continuously releases. But only thing is, with the help of these barriers, they will stop meeting the male gametes and as well as female gametes. And also a more importance of these barrier methods. So if you are using these barrier methods like condoms and as well as caps, it will prevent and also it will protect the persons, like we can say, from the sexually transmitted diseases, such as like we can say gonorrhea and syphilis and as well as AIDS, like permanent diseases. So this all the diseases will stop when we are using these physical barriers. These all called as diseases, sexually transmitted diseases we used to call. So this all the diseases will stop. This is what the advantage of, an important benefit of using physical barriers. So no other method of contraception provides protection against these sexually transmitted diseases. So even you can take chemical methods and as well as surgical methods, everything, it will be direct contact. So that is why it is no other one will protect us from these sexually transmitted diseases. Only the one is physical barrier methods only. So this is what we used to call as barrier methods. Have you understand, guys? Please respond. So please write barrier method. In barrier methods of preventing pregnancy, the physical devices such as condoms, and diaphragm, or we can say caps are used. So down itself, your language you can write. Condoms are used by men's male bodies and diaphragm is used by female body. So both, anyone, no need to use both. Anyone can use, so that it will prevent the stopping of male gametes called as sperms into the egg. That is what it is. That's all. So that you can write it. So also, what is the main benefit of this one? It will prevent the sexually transmitted diseases such as like gonorrhea, syphilis, and as well as AIDS. This gonorrhea and all is like, we know, it's like a very irritating diseases which will affect. So it will it will carry for the long time, because it is a private part. There is no proper ventilation, so it is not easy to get relief from these kind of sexually transmitted diseases. So, and if you already people know from lower classes who are studying AIDS, it is the permanent disease, lifelong disease. So that if once it is affected, only a very short period of time, it will lead to your death also. That is what. So there is no other methods of this contraception provides this protection against this sexually transmitted diseases. Only the methods is barrier methods. So have you understand, guys? Please respond. Yes.
Please repeat the definition, sir.
Definition you want? Yes, okay, right. In the barrier methods of preventing pregnancy, the physical devices such as condoms and diaphragms, or we can say caps, are used. DIAPHRAGM are used. So condoms are used by males and as well as and as well as these caps are used by females, but usually these caps used to cover the cervix. So cervix in the sense of, you people might be know the cervix bone. Have you seen the cervix? Where it will be present? Between the cervix bone.
Between the uterus and the vagina.
Yeah, in the uterus and the vagina, it will come between that. So there, this caps used to use so that it will prevent the entering of male gametes into the female body. That is what it is happening. So this is, so they can write it. Condoms is used by male and the caps is used by female, and it will prevent the. It is the best important benefit of using these condoms because it will protect a person from the sexually transmitted diseases. That's all. So next. Hope you all understand this. Now, so what is the second type of methods, guys? The second one is called as chemical methods. Okay. So now let us see what is this chemical method in the sense of here. So in these chemical methods of preventing pregnancy, try to understand very carefully. So the females uses two types of pills, means no kind of barriers they will use during this copulation or meeting. So they will proceed with that normally. So now basically once they are having a suspect of getting pregnancy, or else they don't want to get the pregnancy after the copulation of within that few days. So basically they will use the two kinds of pills. So that is what chemically manufactured pills or natural pills also there. Even papaya, pineapple, this all will leads to the miscarriage. Understand? That is why those who wants to get pregnancy, they will never allow to eat the papaya or else this kind of what we can say pineapple and all, because they're having some kind of chemicals which will prevent the pregnancy. That is what it is happening. So in this, basically in the chemical methods, what will happen, they will use two kinds of pills. So that is only one kind of pills is called as oral pills. What we used to call? One is oral pills and the second one is called as vaginal pills. Vaginal pills. So if you notice it here, both are manufactured by a specific drugs. Understanding? So chemical specific drugs. So that is what we used to say. This one is called as a chemical method. So here, if you notice it, let us comes to here. So in chemical methods, two kinds of pills they will use. What are the first pills, guys? Oral pills. Yes or no? So now in this oral pills, what will happen means they contains hormones. They contains hormones which can stop the ovaries from the releasing ovum. That is what you can see. So they will stop hormones, these hormones which contains in these oral pills, they will stop the ovaries from releasing ovum into the oviduct. So that is why we can say these oral pills, which will we are taking like a medicine to stop this releasing the eggs from the ovaries. So that is why we used to call this as oral contraceptives, or in the form of shortcut we can say OC pills. You might be heard it also. So OC pills we used to call it as. Is it okay, guys? So what they will do? They contains hormones which will prevent what, guys? They will stop the egg which is released from the ovaries. Stop the egg from the ova or ovaries, so that no egg will release, so that no fertilization will take place. So, and you remember the very effective method of preventing pregnancy is as long as the pills are taken at the right time, then it is never not possible to get the pregnancy at all. So that is why we can say this contraceptive pills, oral contraceptive pills is the most effective method of preventing pregnancy. So if you're taking the tablets in a right time, where the egg is not released in that time, so then automatically it will stop it. So that is so that no possibility of getting pregnancy. But some women, you can see, they experience unpleasant side effects of taking this oral pills. It is not enough safe because it is used to manufacture with the synthesized drugs, so that in some women it may lead to the side effects also. So that is why understanding. So because the hormonal imbalance will come. So those who are taking continuously these OC pills, oral contraceptive pills, and sometimes now they don't want to pregnancy or they don't want to conceive, then it's okay, they can prevent. But sometimes they need pregnancy, they want to get a baby. By that time it will lead to some side effects like hormonal imbalance. Then it may not having a chances not to get a baby permanently also. So that is what it is. It is very rarely it will be takes place. So that is why it is very important that women and pills having regular checkups with their doctors. So under the doctor prescription only, you people need to use this one. Okay. So next one you can see vaginal pills. So what do you mean by this vaginal pills means? See, first one oral pills to stop the egg. And the second one you can take this vaginal pills. They will contain the chemicals which understanding kills the sperms. That is what it is. That is also means we have no need to that means whatever the sperms is entering into the body. So if you take these tablets, these vaginal pills, they are having called as spermicides. This is the chemicals which is present in this vaginal pills. So in these spermicides, what will happen? They will start kills the sperms, so that even though egg is released, the sperms which is entering into the male body, they will die, so that fertilization won't be takes place. This is what the methods are, chemical methods. So chemical methods, two types. One is oral pills and another one is vaginal pills. So anything you can take, and you can see the oral contraceptive pills popularly in India we used to call it as Maladi. The name is called as Maladi. So this is the most popular contraceptive pill for prevent the pregnancy. That name is oral pill. Okay, so this oral pill name is only called as MALA, Maladi. This is what most famous one in our India to control the birth. So this is all about it. And the next method, the surgical method, and as well as one more method is their contraceptive device. So that is all we'll study in the next class. Now it's already time up. So with this I will leave. So hope you all understand in detail. Any doubt, anybody you can ask me. If not, we'll stop. Thank you everybody.
Yes, sir.
Have you understand?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.